The mission of Harper's Embrace life-saving program is to give at no cost CPR educational programs across San Antonio communities in the efforts to give everyone the skills they need to save a life. These days, many of us are finding ourselves at home with our family and our loved ones due to the COVID-19 pandemic. During this time, we also might find that if we need emergency medical services, the response time is going to be a little bit longer than normal. Do you have the skills that you need in order to save a life? That's what I'm going to help you with. Today, I'm going to go step by step in how to perform CPR with normal things that you would have at home. I have these mannequins here, but go grab yourself a pillow or maybe even a couch cushion and follow along with me. While you're gathering those things, I'm going to share a few facts with you. If you are ever going to perform CPR and you're not in a hospital setting, it's probably going to be on a loved one. Most cardiac events happen at home. That's why it's so important for you to know the basic steps of CPR. Each year, over 1.5 million heart attacks occur. 70% of these heart attacks happen at home. Most of the time, Americans feel helpless in order to help the person that's most important to them. That's what we're going to take care of today. So let's start. We have a basic chain of survival, and I'm going to go through those steps with you. Number one, make sure your scene is safe. Look around. Make sure that there are no down power lines, that there's nothing that can put you in harm's way. Step number two, tap and shout. And this isn't something like, hey, wake up. This is, are you okay? Are you okay? Give them a good shake. Make sure that they are going to respond to you and give you a clear signal that they are not okay. The next thing that you want to do is you want to look for breathing. So from the chin to the belly button, we're going to take a look. 5 to 10 seconds. If we don't see anything, then we're going to call 911. If you have a cell phone, it's as simple as calling 911 and putting that cell phone on the speaker. If you do not have your cell phone with you, leave the person, go call 911, and come right back. Now that we've done those things, we've made sure our scene is safe, we've tapped, we've shouted, they've not given us a response, and we've looked to see that they're not breathing, we're going to commence our CPR. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put the heel of our hand in the center of their chest. We take our other hand, go over the top, keeping our arms absolutely straight, and we're going to push down into this chest approximately 2 inches at the rate of 100 to 120 beats per minute. So, really simple. Put our hands in place and let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're going to keep this up until emergency medical services arrive. And we're also going to follow the instructions that our 911 operator is walking through with us. There is no reason for us to stop these things until our emergency medical services arrive. So, we're giving these compressions and we're going to continue going until emergency medical services arrives. But what happens if this is a smaller person? Perhaps this person is younger and not a teenager. We're going to say 1 to 8 years old. What we're going to do with them is make sure we give them breaths. They just don't have the lung capacity that the adults have in order to handle hands-only CPR. So what we do for these guys, again, hand in the centermost of the chest, one over the top, and let's start giving compressions. Right now we're going to give a set of 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 27, 28, 29, 30. Once I hit 30, I want to make sure that this guy has some air. So I'm going to put one hand on the forehead, pull back, support his chin on the boniest part of the chin. None of this in here or here, but on the bony part. Put my fingers, close off his nose, and give 2 breaths. Once I do this, I'm going to return to giving compressions. I will continue this cycle of 30 compressions to 2 breaths until emergency medical services arrive. One of the most important things to this process in giving the breaths is to ensure that you're closing off the nose. If we don't close off the nose, you're just going to be breathing into your own ear. So make sure that we take care of that each time. I'll show you one more time. Hand in the center part of the chest, over the top. Let's give 30 compressions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 27, 28, 29, 30. Head tilt, chin lift, bony part, close off that nose, and give them 2 breaths. Really pretty simple and the easiest way for you to help save a life. The next thing we want to talk about is what happens when someone's choking. We're at home right now and we hear all about it. We're snacking, but every now and then something can kind of go the wrong way. So what we want to do is to give this person the Heimlich maneuver. The way that we do this is really pretty simple. I'll show you on this mannequin. Please don't practice at home. It's just not safe to do it on someone who doesn't actually need the help. So I'm going to take my mannequin. I'm going to stand behind him with one leg forward and one leg back. This keeps me from falling down should this person pass out. I'm going to take my fists, clamp it with the thumb over the top, put it beneath their breastbone but above their belly button. Other hand over the top, and I'm going to pull up and in. You can see my mannequin, how he's going forward and breath is coming out. This is the same thing you're going to do for your family member. But perhaps you have someone in your family who's in the latter stages of pregnancy, or perhaps just they're rather larger and you can't get your arms around them. What we want to do is to do the same maneuver, but we're going to go to them beneath their armpits and do it where we do CPR. Let me show you. Again, with my mannequin, going to pick him up. Instead of coming in this area here, I'm going to put my hand right here in the chest area, other one over the top. See, I'd be going underneath the arms and pushing up and doing those same movements. If for any reason this is not successful, this person will pass out and you can easily let them down to the ground because you've got your feet in the right place. Okay, so what happens if a child is choking? Exactly the same thing. The only difference is that this person's probably going to be a little shorter than you. You want to kneel down and do the exact same things as you just did. Just kneel behind them. Make sure you're putting your hands in place and pulling back and up. Easiest way to help with choking. Please remember, never ever slap someone on the back. That's not the way to do it. We want to make sure that we're correctly doing the Heimlich maneuver. Infant CPR is actually very simple. Many of us are afraid that we're going to hurt or damage our infant. Don't be afraid to conduct good CPR. I'll show you how. When we find our baby and he's not responding to us, we're going to go through the same steps, making sure our scene is safe. The next thing that we're going to do is make sure that our baby is on a firm, flat surface. For our adults, we did this on the ground or wherever it is that they were at the time. For babies, we want to make sure that they're on a firm, flat surface that we can access them. Most of the time, that's on top of a table or a countertop. Bring our baby here, and we're going to tap and shout. For babies, right down here at the foot. This is where their nerves are. Baby, baby, are you okay? Are you okay? Baby doesn't respond. Then, just like with the adults and the children, we are going to look from the chin to the belly button for 1 breath in 5 to 10 seconds. If we don't see this breath, we are going to immediately call 911 on our cell phone. If we do not have our cell phone present with us, then we are going to first do 5 sets of CPR and then go call 911. So we are going to feel across our baby's chest for the nipple line, bring 2 fingers straight up right below there and give compressions. These compressions will be 30 compressions just like we did with children and adults. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 27, 28, 29, 30. Our baby will definitely need breaths. So again, we put our hand on her forehead, pull back, support her little chin. Now, this little girl, she doesn't need you to close off her nose because everything is so tiny. Use your mouth over her nose and her mouth to give her breaths. Then return to giving CPR. One of the most common things in our home is that we might find little pieces here and there that our baby could choke on. It doesn't matter if you are the very best housekeeper in the world, this little baby is going to find that one tiny thing that you may have missed. Also, we find that they love that kibble and they love Legos. In case anything like this should happen to you, what would you do? Well, we want to say again, Don't pick up this baby and start slapping them on the back. What we want to do is this. Pick up our baby. We're going to support our baby right here around the chin and put them through our arms. This allows us to have a good grasp on the baby. In case they should wiggle and slip, we're able to catch them easily. We are going to put the head of the baby below her bottom. Then we are going to take the heel of our hand, just like we were for CPR, and give 5 back slaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 85% of the time, the sheer motion of putting this child with their head below their bottom will rush everything out, and you probably won't get to those back slaps. But if you do, make sure you give the first 5. If you still don't see anything, place your hand securely behind the baby's head, roll to the other arm, and let's give this baby 5 compressions where we would give CPR. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hear all that air? That's what's going to help get anything up and out. If this doesn't work, let's try again with the back slaps. We're going to put our hand right here back at the chin of the baby, roll her over, make sure we've got good grasp of her, and give her 5 more back slaps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At this point, if the baby has not been able to cough up whatever was blocking their airway, we may find that the baby has passed out. If that's the case, we go right to doing what we learned before with CPR. Baby needs to be on a firm, flat surface. Feel for the nipple line, hands up, and begin your 30 compressions to 2 breaths. So today you've learned the basic steps to giving CPR. The most important step, of course, are those compressions. Once you're able to give compressions, you have the basic skill that you need in order to save a life. If you can give those breaths, the breaths are an added bonus. Remember always, children and infants, they need breaths. Try performing CPR with your family. Grab those couch cushions, even the pillows off the bed. Everybody gather around in a circle and practice compressions. CPR, simple skills that can help save a life.